Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. I'm just going to talk about a couple of things. I'm on my way to work, and I just have some thoughts on my mind that I want to share with you all. As you all know, there's been a lot of news about Ray Rice and the incident involving his wife. You know, the incident where he actually knocked his wife out in an elevator. And I've done a couple of videos about it. And, you know, you can check those out on my channel. But this video is going to have a slightly different focus. It's going to focus on the response of black men. Now, there are a lot of politically aware African Americans here on YouTube. You know, there are a lot of black conscious YouTubers that I have a lot of respect for. And there's just a lot of black conscious people, period, on and off YouTube that I have respect for, but I, disagree with them on some issues. And one of those issues is this whole issue involving Ray Rice. You know, a lot of people are quick to defend this man. You know, and one of these YouTubers actually called it cooning to speak out against domestic violence, to speak out against Ray Rice, or to, say that his punishment was just. You know, this one particular YouTuber referred to that as cooning. And, sadly, we are overusing this word coon. We are using it way out of context. And, frankly, if black people didn't use that word so much, we probably wouldn't even hear the word nowadays. But we have, breathed new life into this word and, given it energy, and we're overusing it. And, this is a clear example of overusing it. People are trying to turn Ray Rice into a martyr. They're trying to turn him into, the modern day Jesus Christ or something. Like he's been crucified or something. This man committed a crime. This man brutalized his wife. And I've gone into detail about that. His actions are indefensible. And, as I suggested on my last video, this is not some racial issue. This is not a racial conspiracy against Ray Rice. If that video wasn't publicly available, he would have got a slap on the wrist like a lot of these people in the NFL. It's the video evidence which made this case distinguishable from a lot of other cases. There are 3 different African-American players right now who have been accused of domestic violence, and some of them have actually been convicted, and they are appealing their convictions. But they have not been suspended from the NFL yet. They haven't been suspended because they want to give them time to, have the court process run its course. So, this is not some racial issue. It's about the NFL not knowing how to deal with issues of gender. It's about the NFL not having a clear policy to deal with domestic violence. And unlike what some people have suggested, this is not some private affair. A crime was committed. And the only reason why Ray Rice was not punished is because he has the money to hire high-priced attorneys, and because his wife, his now wife, decided not to testify. And, it's important to understand that many people that are victims of domestic violence, they often refuse to testify against their abuser. They often continue to stay with their abuser. And, there's a whole series of articles about this whole issue. And I may post a link in the description box to this video so that you all can see some of those articles that explain why people stay in these types of relationships. But let me just move on to one of the main points that I wanted to make in this brief video. And that's this. Oftentimes when black people raise issues dealing with race and racism, people often brush them off. People often, ignore us. They often downplay us. They often say that we're playing a race card. They often say that we're race baiters. They often accuse people of being race hustlers. They use all these dismissive terms to refuse to deal with the issues being raised. And that's essentially what a lot of black men have done with respect to gender issues. As one of the sisters on my Facebook page pointed out, we often label people who speak up against sexism. We call them feminists. We use all other kinds of labels to describe them. We talk about how they're being whispered to by white feminists and all this nonsense. Those are just examples of how we're trying to be dismissive of legitimate issues in our community. And unfortunately, like a lot of men, most men probably are not aware of like the issues that women face. We're not. We're just simply not, because that's evident given the fact that you have all these so-called conscious black men defending, this wife beater, Ray Rice. I mean, they're turning him to a Jesus Christ type figure, to a martyr, like he's died for some kind of righteous cause or something. This man violated the law. This man brutalized his wife. And after he knocked her out, he didn't see if she was okay. He just dragged her out of the elevator like she was a piece of garbage. So, I mean, it's just really disheartening. I really think that at some point, black men really shouldn't be the ones speaking on these issues of gender, because we don't know what we're talking about half the time. Half the time we're so desensitized to what's going on. We're so clueless. We just are. We don't understand the plight of women. We don't understand the plight of our sisters. In fact, some of the biggest personalities here on YouTube have gained fame trampling on black women. And it's a disgrace. And it tells you how lost we are as a people. It tells you how unaware we are when it comes to issues of gender. And as I said in the last video, even some women embrace the misogyny, the sexism that we hear not only on YouTube but elsewhere. They defend this wife beater, this criminal. And I don't have any sympathy for Ray Rice. As I expressed in my last couple of videos, this guy received a slap on the wrist. He didn't face any real punishment until that video came out. And I'm going to tell you what, I guarantee that he'll be back in the NFL. They may wait until after all this controversy blows over. And the next thing you know, that man will be back on the playing field. He'll probably be with another team, but he'll still continue to make money. This man is rich. He's not in jeopardy. So, I mean, there are better causes for us to pour our energy into. There are more important issues for us to be speaking out for. There are other people that we should be putting our energy on and, trying to defend and protect. The last person we need to be defending is a wife beater.